Hello friends, welcome to this YouTube video program. Friends, we are discussing about the important recommendations of National Education Policy 2020. We have discussed about the various fundamental principles that have been addressed in developing this National Education Policy 2020. Further, we have also discussed most of the important recommendations relating to school education, just like the new pedagogical and structure of school education, that is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 system of education, that is foundational stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, as well as the fourth stage is the secondary stage of education, and changes that has been made in the earlier structure of education, school education, and the new structure of school education. Friends, we have also discussed about the pedagogical issues, how to integrate the curriculum, how to integrate curriculum so far as constructivist approach of teaching learning process, and how to provide experiential learning, holistic education, at the same time how to integrate you can say all sorts of knowledge, all sorts of life experience and other areas of knowledge in our curriculum, in our subject, okay, and how to make how to develop an active curriculum, a constructive curriculum that addresses you can say the skills, competencies, creativity, logical thinking, critical analysis, at the same time aptitude and capacities of the learners, means how these things should address in our curriculum, how to provide a power to the curriculum so that the curriculum is empowered enough to address such skills and competencies of the learners, the passion of the learners, okay, the interest area of the learners, and how to make teaching learning process you can say more active, more constructive, more enjoyable, and more interesting. You will find that such things have been given importance in recommendations, mostly the pedagogical aspect, that how to design the pedagogy, okay. So further in connection to the curricular integration, today we will discuss about the National Curriculum Framework for School Education, that is NCFSE, and national textbooks with local content and flavor. These two recommendations will discuss of NEP 2020, okay. So friends, you see in NEP 2020 this has been mentioned that NCRT, National Council of Educational Research and Training, NCERT, New Delhi, NCRT has given this responsibility that they will develop a national curriculum framework for school education, NCFSE 2020-2021. That is you can say based on the principle of the National Education Policy 2020, okay. A frontline curriculum will be developed addressing all such things, experiential learning, addressing you can say integration of other areas of knowledge, integration of crafts, integration of physical education in the school system, at the same time providing varieties of subjects as option at the secondary stage, okay, for widening the choices of the students, for selecting the subject as per their need, as per their interest, aptitude and creativity. So here NCERT has given such responsibility. So here I can mention here that in 2005 NCERT has come forward with a national curriculum framework, NCF 2005, for school education, and till now we are implementing the country is implementing NCF 2005, and here again this is the procedure, this is you can say the process of work, that after the national education policy, further as per the recommendation of school education, NCERT should come forward with a national curriculum for school education. So maintaining the same standard, the same procedure, the same process, the same norm, here also again in this national education policy 2020, this has been mentioned that NCERT will come forward with a national curriculum framework for school education 2020-2021. And you can say national curriculum framework for school education will be considered as a frontline curriculum for the states, okay, for the national level, at the same time for the state boards also. But here this has been mentioned that there is the need of revision of the curriculum, revisited the earlier developed curriculum, just like from 2005 onwards. So now it is 2020. From last 15 years, we are implementing this national curriculum framework 2005. Means the system is we are following the system from last 15 years, the curriculum and the other curricular practices in the school education that are getting practiced from last 15 years. But here one recommendation is given that in every 5 to 10 years, the curriculum should be revisited and curriculum should be revised. The frontline curriculum developed by NCERT, that's called as the National Curriculum for School Education, will be revisited. So this is expected that as per the recommendation, NCERT will come forward with a beautiful curriculum, is a quality curriculum, active curriculum for the students of this country. Further, the important recommendations that has been given, that is on national textbooks with local content and flavor. Okay, so here you see this is the procedure that NCERT develops the curriculum, and also NCERT develops, as per the national curriculum framework, NCERT develops the books, textbooks, specially for the students up to 12th standard, okay, starting from class 1 to 12th standard. But here the same thing again reiterated that the NCERT will come forward with the textbooks. NCERT will develop the textbooks, but here certain conditions that has been mentioned, certain recommendations, certain suggestions have been given, just like a textbook shall aim to contain the essential core material, just like together with discussion, analysis, examples and applications. As earlier I was talking that if you critically examine the recommendations relating to pedagogy, relating to content integration, relating to curricular integration, integration of skills, competencies and capacities of the learners, you will find that certain aspects should be reflected, should come out from the curriculum, just like there should be a space for adequate discussion in the curriculum, how the things have been presented, how the things have been discussed, okay, how the things have been you can say organized in the curriculum. So that's why proper discussion, there should be the space for proper discussion of the content points in the curriculum. Proper analysis should be there, critically the things should be analyzed. You see friends, what we are talking, you see many a time in this beautiful document this has been mentioned that anyhow we have to reduce the rote memory of the learners. We have to reduce you can say the cramming, the attitude of cramming of the learners, okay, cramming of the text for the learners. You see what the students are doing, they are just going through the material, going through the textbooks, they develop certain rote memory and they reproduce it in the examination. So that's why throughout their studentship period they never engage themselves in rigorous teaching and rigorous learning practices. So that's why how to reduce such things, how to break such things. So here this has been mentioned that when to develop textbook, it should be together with discussion. Certain discussion should be given in the textbook, certain analysis should also be given, which is at the understanding level, that should further address you can say the analysis, the synthesis, you can say the critical analysis skills, at the same time comprehension of the students, that can develop the comprehension ability of the students, okay. So that should be at the understanding level, at the same time with putting suitable examples, and applications. So with illustration, certain examples will be given relating to the content. At the same time, hands-on activities, or you can say that certain application oriented things or activities should be the part of the school curriculum, so should be the part of the textbook. So a clear guidelines have been given that what are the things should be you can say incorporated for designing the textbook, for developing the textbook. So that's why these four different things, important things, that is discussion, analysis, examples and illustrations with application. So it should be the part of the curriculum, it should be the part of the textbook. So that's why such things have been recommended by the commission. Further, this has also been recommended that we have always a national debate, that is the issues relating to an uniform curriculum with a locally designed curriculum. Means, you see, this is the practice of this country, it is the practice of India, that after development of the national curriculum framework for school education, further at the state level, at different state level, you will find that the state board, or you can say the SCRT, State Council of Educational Research and Training, SCRT follow this national curriculum, follow this NCRT developed uniform curriculum, and further they incorporate certain things, they include certain things as local importance, just like the local practices of art and craft, local practices of games and sports, local practices of culture, tradition, okay, and other social practices. So that's become a part of in the state board textbooks, that may be in the language, that may be in science, in social, different subjects of social sciences. So here also such things have been recommended, that in line with the national curriculum framework for school education that will developed by NCRT 2020-2021. After development of this national curriculum framework for school education, different SCRT, State Council of Educational Research and Training, they will follow this national curriculum NCFSE 2020-21. Then accordingly they will design their own curriculum on the basis of this national curriculum, in line with this national curriculum. But here specific suggestions, specific recommendations have been given, that when to develop the state specific curriculum, or the curriculum which will develop for the state board students, or the textbooks that will be developed for the state board students, certain topics relating to the local importance, relating to the state specific practices, maybe language, maybe science, maybe mathematics, maybe games and sports, maybe culture, should be the part of different subjects. So this has also been recommended in the curriculum. And further a solid recommendation is given, that how to make curricular load and reduce the textbook load of the students. So for reducing the textbook load, the alternate provision has been made in NEP 2020, especially for the school education. That is just like practice of fun courses, practice of other types of hands-on activities for development of skills and competencies, relating to crafts, relating to sports and games, relating to the value-based education, relating to life skill education. So how to incorporate such things in the curriculum, instead of making a bulky curriculum, instead of making, you can say, bulky textbooks. So that's why you will find that in our last program we have discussed about implementation of a fun course, and for 10 days you will find that at the at the grade of 6 to 8, 6, 7 and 8, the students will get certain space, that they will come to the school without the textbook, without the school bag. Means they will involve themselves in many hands-on activities. It may be related to poetry, it may be related to other types of crafts, carpentry and other types of crafts. And the local craft persons, they will be invited as mentor, as craft person, and they will you can say engage the young children, young students for developing their certain skills and certain competencies in different arts and crafts, different games and sports. So friends, in the section of textbook, development of textbook, printing of textbook, these things has been mentioned that how to make curriculum, how to reduce the curriculum load, and how to reduce the size of the textbook, the quantum of the textbook for the students, and instead to include certain more activities, certain more fun activities, certain skill and competency based activities in the school curriculum. Then further, this has also been realized by the National Education Policy 2020 that how to maintain a very you can say lowest possible cost of the textbook. At present also, if you'll go through the textbooks that is developed by NCERT, you will find that it is very lowest cost. Means you will find a textbook of mathematics for school education, it may be a 50 rupees, 40 rupees or 70 rupees or like that. So accordingly, realizing for maintaining the same standard, in NEP 2020, this has also been mentioned that the cost of the books should should cover the production and printing. This is not a profit making you can say thing that the book that has been developed for the students, this is not for making profit, rather just to meeting the cost of production, the cost of printing. Okay, so that's why with a very lowest possible cost, how the books should supply to the students, that is also another important recommendations. And further, this has also been recommended that how to make the textbooks reach at the students at the proper time. That means you can say at the beginning of every academic session. So many a time you must have observed that the session has been started, but the students, they have not received the textbook. So how to curb such situation, how to solve this problem, how proactively you can say NCERT, at the same time different state SCRTs, they will come forward for printing the textbook in proper time and provide a textbook to the students during you can say at the beginning of the academic session, so that the students will involve themselves in the process of learning without losing any time. Then further, this has also been mentioned that especially you can say the NCERT and the textbook, this is also present practices. You see, the textbooks, it should be available, the soft copies of the textbook, school textbooks should be available in the website in the soft form, so that you can say for conserve the environment and reduce the logistic burden. So how to maintain, how to provide soft copies of the textbook material to the students. So here care should be taken for providing soft books to the students also. This has also one of the important recommendation of textbooks of NEP 2020. Further, this has also been mentioned that concerted efforts through suitable changes in curriculum and pedagogy will be made by NCERT, by SCRT, by schools and teachers to significantly reduce the weight of school bags and textbooks. As I was talking earlier, that how to reduce the weight of school bag. So this is only possible that when we reduce our curriculum. So if we reduce the curriculum, then accordingly the size of the book will be reduced. Then accordingly what will happen, the school bag, the weight of the school bag will also reduce. So at the same time, this is not only to reduce the curriculum, rather accommodation of other things in the curriculum. Okay, means the students, they will practice the requisite skills, the requisite competencies of mathematics, social science, languages and other areas of knowledge. Okay, this is not only studying the subject, studying a very bulky subject, rather how to practice it, how to develop hands-on activities, how to apply such things. So that's why the aspect of application, the aspect of analysis, the aspect of critical thinking, Okay, so how to improve, how to incorporate in the school curriculum in different forms, in different ways, in different practices. So that has also been included in important recommendations of NEP 2020. So friends, these are the recommendations relating how to develop the national curriculum framework for school education 2020-21 by the NCRT, and at the same time the matters relating to the textbook, how to develop the textbook, how to distribute the textbooks, and how to incorporate the local important contents in the textbook, and how to synchronize an uniform curriculum with a locally designed curriculum, with a curriculum developed by the state through the SCRT, State Council of Education Research and Training, Educational Research and Training. So here such things have given importance in NEP 2020, and it may be a matter of few months that in 2020-21 by next year we'll get a very good curriculum. At the same time, the NCRT will develop textbooks as per the new curriculum, as per the National Curriculum Framework for School Education 2020-21. So friends, we have discussed most of the recommendations relating to school education, and in our next program we'll discuss about transforming assessment for you can say student development. So how to transform, how to bring a paradigm shift in the assessment practices in the teaching learning process, especially in school stage. So that we will discuss in our next program. Thank you.